Hello, welcome to Global Weltrade Synthetic Signal Provider. In today's video, we shall discuss about highs and lows operation in Forex synthetic market, Weltrade Broker. If this is your first time of visiting this channel, try your best to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you get notified each time I upload a new video or content. And right here, most of these videos in this channel are not voiced, just to let subscribers of you know be able to be active, because this language differential could be an issue here, but that's cool. You could get a translator for that. So I'm gonna start with the kind of theoretical part of this, and I will actually bring in the practical part of it. Okay, so let's start with the theoretical part. Okay, we have a high price represented with high. These are the characters, or these are the symbols, the notations. So we have the high price represented with hash, capital hash. The low price is represented with capital L. So we have a higher high and a higher low. These are the operators. Then we have these are the notations. We have a lower high and a lower low. Okay, so the first letter, like in a binary representation, the first letter is actually acting on the second letter. So when we say higher high, it means that the high is higher than another high. And when we say higher low, it means the low is higher than another low. So the first letter acts as an operator. Okay, so the arithmetical sign we shall be deploying is plus and minus. We shall be using plus and minus to actually run these operations, and I'm gonna show you the results, the profit from this idea. Right now, if we have a market that has an uptrend characteristics, I'm going to use uptrend to make things much easier. But you can deploy the same thing in uptrending market, but let's work on, you can deploy the same thing in downtrend market, but let's work on uptrend, since the downtrend is opposite of uptrend. Okay, so right here, this is a high, this is a high hash, and this is a low. Okay, so this is a higher high, okay, and this is a lower high. Okay, so what do you see here? We see something like this. Okay, this is output. So output, which is the signal you are looking for, the output signal, OP, the output OP, okay, is equals to the sum, is equals to sum of hash slash L in bracket. This should be a curly bracket like this, or angle bracket like this. Okay, so to make it more clearer, to make it more clearer, we have let's use the angle bracket. We have an angle bracket like this, and then we have an angle bracket. Then we have hash and then L. So these are the possible summation of all the permutations of hash and L. Okay, so if you understand permutation, you will know what I'm saying, or combination. We deploy them, and then we get the output, and then we deploy probability density analysis on the output to see the feasibility of the output. And right here, the output is equals to hash plus L plus L hash plus, you have to follow this in order. This is hash plus L hash. Okay, this is the output. But if you run the probability analysis and you discover that some outputs may not be stable in one direction, and they can actually change direction and become an input. So when outputs become an input, you have to study the slope of the input. Or when output become a continuous output, you have to study the slope of the output. So the slope is the rate of change of price with time when you consider the direction, whether negative or positive. Okay, let's talk about the downtrend market. I don't want this video to pass 12 minutes. We're already half of the full time. So we'll have a market that do like this, do like this, do like this, do like this. Now you want an output of this nature. You want an output of this nature, but for this output to exist, you have to run the low and high operation. So this is a low, this is a high, this is a lower low, this is a lower high, and this is a lower low. Okay, so here we are going to have one. Okay, this is lower low 1, lower low 2. We have to label this in order. Okay, yes, so this is hash1 because of this, because every high creates a low and every low, like a high creates a low and the low creates a high inversely, right? So we are going to put here as L1. Okay, and so we have LH2 and LL2, and so yeah, this is what we have here, and we are going to have this as L. This is our output, but this output OP is equals to L3. Okay, so when you look at this, you have to run the mathematical operation, right? So what is actually the output looks like? You see, I've told you already, some output become input, some outputs become like the slope of some output become positive or negative. So even when you run these operations and know the answer, they're like, even when you run this operation and get the output, that is not a guarantee that the output is going to be profitable in any of your preferred direction. So I will not be discussing about stability analysis here, so I'm going to leave that maybe in the next video, but I'm not sure if I'll be uploading voice video in this channel, but at least this is part of a kind of intuitive knowledge you need. Okay, that's good. So the OP is L1 is equals to L1 plus LL1 plus H1 plus LL2 plus L hash 2, okay, which will give us LL3. Okay, so by merely looking at these mathematical operations, you know that a seller is going to be profitable in this scenario than a buyer. Okay, so when we have our LL3, we can only look for sell, right? But we cannot sell on LL3. We only sell on L hash 3. Okay, we only sell on L hash 3, but that's cool. I'm going to be ending this video after I do some practical, and that's cool. So let's go into the practical part of this. Right here you can see the result of this intuitive knowledge about the market movement, right? There is no guarantee that if you deploy this video you are going to succeed, because there are a lot of metaphysical ideas that were deployed before this video is created, right? I'm sorry, before this trade we are placed, right? So this trade is not something that is just come out of a single idea. There were high level strategy which is not said in this video, but if you want to get the strategy is actually installed right now. You have to, you know, make up your mind and get the strategy when you contact us on Telegram, right? And right here, if you have been losing money trading, because a lot of people watch video and still lose a lot of money, right? Make sure you subscribe to our VIP signal channels so that you stop losing. And so right here you are seeing the result, right? And that's pretty much cool. That's the power of this intuitive knowledge, right? So I'm going to practicalize why this is real. Like, I'm going to show you the practical part of this and why the result is realized, right? Okay, right here this is SFS Vol 60 index, right? So what you see here is okay, see, there's no guarantee that when you deploy this idea is going to work for you, because I've already run some inside cycle analysis before actually bringing this idea into light. Actually, this topic is actually maybe 2% of the strategy we deploy to generate or synthesize signals. Okay, it's around 2 to 5%. Okay, so when you look at what's happening here, you start running your operation immediately, and so this is a high. This is 30 minutes time frame. This is a high. You have to be in a time frame that is reasonable. 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour, these are reasonable time frame. Okay, so when you have this, we have a low 1 and hash 1. Okay, so we have hash L2 and hash 2. Okay, so we have L3 and we have hash 3, right? So for me to place a buy market here, I need, that is, I don't know how I'm going to put it, I need a reaction to the last. In fact, I need to produce hash 4, right? Now for me to produce hash 4, that is, we bring the idea of conjugate, because the highs and low are conjugate of each other, right? So for me to produce hash 4, then I must use, you must use something must produce something. It can't produce something out of nothing. I hope you understand this idea, right? So for you to get hash 4, you must know the location of L4, very important. This is hash L4. So if you practically know hash L4, the hash 4 will just exist after some time, right? So that is where probability analysis comes in. Okay, so I'm not going to teach about that. You have to run probability analysis and check continuity factors, reversibility factors. Okay, so you need to be mentored, you need to be educated, you need to join our VIP, you need to make money, start making money with us, right? Bye for now.